So, no need to noodle on it. I gave this much thought. Data science is Stark. Data science is Tony Stark. So, if we start from left to right, we have hacking skills. The hacking is the raw material phase where Tony was captured in the desert. It's where you're tasked to use raw materials to escape your oppressor, which is usually the term startup or innovation. I see you nodding already. This is where we usually take raw or messy data sources and begin to build our Iron Man suit to save the world. Then we have math and statistics. In order for there to be symmetry and preciseness to the Iron Man suit, you need math. You also need statistics to see what has hurt or helped you in the past. Then you can improve upon your materials and also anticipate wrongdoing, like Loki's attack and Shield's shadiness. Then you have substantive expertise. This is when your suit is done enough to get the job done. It may not be that pretty, but it'll get you out the desert. Now it's time to analyze what you have and figure out how to fight evil and help people. In business terms, now you can help the company scale. I know, buzzword alert. As you can see, there are so many overlapping there are a few subtopics, but for brevity, I will leave those parts of the suit out of this explanation. Research is pretty self-explanatory, and we'll touch on machine learning shortly. And then the danger zone is kind of its own subtopic that I would just encourage you to look up yourself. But moment of clarity, data science is usually a team sport. So we are better together. It's just a thing. But usually you aren't some brainiac by yourself lifting a whole company by yourself. You're usually part of a team. Maybe this is why the Civil War happened. Stark wasn't a good team player. There is a generalist role of data scientists, which I think gets confused a lot. But I think some of the Windex comes with recognizing each facet as its own labor. So that being said, it brings on the next question: who will be on your squad? Any great thing usually involves a highly skilled team. Just like the Power Rangers, you need a range of weapons to make the Megazord. This is the high stakes round, so you need your badassery standards to be set high. So, who are we recruiting? First up, we have your data analysts. They document how the data is being built, they identify patterns and correlations that relate to your users, they make connections from system to system. They do some reporting to help summarize the data and also do stat analysis. They're usually proficient in analytics, Excel, and have some database knowledge. It hurts me to put this on my slide, Star Wars all day, but you'll survive just like I did. Then you have data visualists, aka Bob Ross. They take this data and they make it visually usable. So no pie charts allowed unless it's Thanksgiving. They take what the analysts found and they make it a story. This is where if you mine enough data, that is, you can create some pretty sweet hypothesis about your users. They're usually proficient in D3JS, Chart.js, Tableau, and other enterprise visualization tools. They also like to paint and rock an afro, so make sure that's in their benefits package and you should be fine. Then we have our business intelligence architect, aka Diddy. Now you can commission Diddy to take this beautiful graph and break it down into rich dummy terms. He is good at telling the big picture. This person edifies the story and fills in the holes between high level goals and the variables that meet these goals. They're usually proficient in business intelligence tools like Hadoop and Amazon Web Services. And you're not deemed really valuable until an executive can steal your idea. So just make sure you remember that for your career. Then we have one of my favorite roles, the machine learning strategist, or just the ML programmer. The ML strategist is where your job security ends. No, just kidding. Stop telling people data science is Skynet. It's just not true. What the ML guy or girl really does is automate the program to learn and react to new data, giving new insights. Usually proficient in R, Python, Linux, AWS, NumPy, and Pandas. Machine learning is not going to go from collecting retail info to murdering humans overnight, so have some solace in that. And then last but not least, we have the beastly generalist with the prestigious title, the data scientist, who is usually the nucleus jack of all trades, filling in the gaps. They are basically the Brett Favre of the DS team. And I'm talking Brett Favre on the Green Bay Packers, not the Minnesota Vikings. So have solace in that for sure. Usually proficient in everything that we kind of talked about, kind of more of a generalist, kind of a jack of all trades. I put in my social bio that I'm a future data scientist because it's a lofty goal for sure. So we're in UX, Josh. Who cares? I like sketch and recording strangers talking and fighting with the dev team on why they made functional garbage. How does this apply to me? I need answers. Fortunately, I read a lot of Medium and come up with a really good list of reasons why you should give a crap. So here I give you 8 reasons why you should give a poop emoji about data science if you are in UX. And here we go. 1, there is way more data than people. Think about all the effort it takes to round up bodies for user testing. Maybe you can cut your budget in half by using more than smart data and less lunch dates. There are a bunch of kick-ass startups catching up with their senior competitors via data. 2, data gets cheaper by the month. Data is almost always cheaper, in my opinion, than a lot of elite practices of UX. Have you ever tried to rent a room with a mirrored glass? I mean, sounds expensive already. If you're a startup going hard and sweat equity, it might just cost you time in the early stage. 3, as all of your brilliant faces know, quantitative and qualitative data help fill each other's gaps. If you're new to Ducks, qualitative is the human observation data collected, and quantitative data is the human to interface data collected. Sorry if this was too crude for any of my UX elitists. This is a rant and not a keynote. Smart data is your Google Analytics count on Brock Lesnar steroids. Wouldn't it be cool if your program tells you where your gaps are? And I make fun of Michael Strahan just to poke fun, but he's a very handsome and confident guy, so I didn't feel bad putting this slide up. So, yeah, to Michael Strahan. 4, you get to sprint faster. You can sprint faster because you're getting data faster. It's the difference between me versus The Rock, in a running race. We see the boost in data science and enterprise tools due to needing to move fast to stay ahead or at least be competitive. We have a very complex generation that we're marketing to, so it's hard to make hipsters happy. So the more money everyone makes in the future by making hipsters happy, or at least a percentage of them. 5, better assumptions. This is an opportunity to make better assumptions before we hit the streets. For startups, this could be make or break with the application arm race. Someone's always pushing something to the app store. If you're validating before the competition, then you are winning. We're going to be wrong a lot of the time, but the data might make us wrong less, which will help us win. 6, data science helps whip your precious data into shape. I mean, it turns into the Old Spice guy with yelling biceps. Embracing machine learning. How cool is it for your life work to learn while you sleep? We have great products in town like Pt.2 that's about to ascend into greatness with artificial intelligence. And no, they didn't pay me to say that. Startups don't have budget to pay strangers. But machine learning is very, very amazing. 7, if you're not first, you're last. I've kind of said this, but not quite like Ricky Bobby. Shake and bake with the data. Being the first to tap into the data oil and refine it is the goal. I'm sure we're all green here, but you get my point. Think about how big the interwebs is, a place you can tap into. 8, it's future proofing. This is for your career. A UX professional with data science on top of the brain is really valuable. It's easy. It's way easier to show that we aren't just a bunch of doodlers wasting their time. The execs may not respect our mock-ups, but they will respect the numbers. So hopefully this helps you with some direction. And PS, the best have already been doing it. They're pairing data science with product managers, and they're getting some amazing ebb and flow from just pulling each other to get some really great data to enhance the experience. So hopefully you're feeling better. Maybe you should pause this video and think of some ways or some places on the internet where you could probably mine some data, hopefully legally. There's a lot of APIs out there and a lot of free sources for you to tap into. So some resources I have, some ones that I check on a daily basis, lynda.com. They're doing a great push on big data. Data Camp is basically code school, but data science focused. Then there's Medium that has a lot of great, easy to read articles to get you, reading about decision trees and little things like that. Then you have Coursera, which is what I'm doing my certification through the University of Michigan on. You have Meetup.com, which is how we're all talking right now, for the most part. And then you have Udacity, who is another leader in a lot of data science learning, and is a good alternate for education. So hopefully one of these resources will help you get further as well. Well, if you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments of where I post this, or you can reach out to me at JWTECHDEV at Twitter, Instagram, and